from the pit of my stomach. It's the 10 Reasons Why show. Today's topic: 10 reasons why J.J. Abrams sucks.
No.
10 reasons why J.J. Abrams should not be directing the Star Wars movie. He's already done enough damage with Star Trek.
Yeah, he has. He should. Well, did you see the second one? Star Trek?
No.
All right.
I will.
You have to.
But I have to be drugged. The first one was bad enough.
Aren't you usually when... I mean, you're drugged right now.
I'm always drugged.
We have to sedate you before we start.
That's right.
All right, so 10 reasons why J.J. Abrams is not a good choice for Star Wars, basically. Like, why it sucks.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I've got more than 10
I was going to say, you've probably got a list all on your own.
I've got my own list.
Well, do you want to... well, let's hear it. Let's hear why you think.
Okay. Well, number one... because we really need our pop culture franchises to be dominated by increasingly limited numbers of visions. In other words, this guy really, really concentrates on things like the mystery of an event rather than the excitement of having the adventure of that event. You
That's
know what
funny.
I'm saying?
I have that exact same thing on my list.
Great minds.
He, which brings to light like Lost.
Yes, Lost is a perfect example of what I'm trying to say.
And I can't give him complete credit for screwing up Lost, but I'm going to.
Yeah,
I am going to.
Well, there's so many. You don't have to give him credit for that, because there's so many other things you can give him credit for ruining.
You know what? It's kind of quiet in here today.
Yeah, what's missing?
I think there's a female aspect missing.
I feel the X hormone, the XY hormone.
That's right. I feel naked almost.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. The mystery part is going to be an issue. It's going to be... I just hope he doesn't really embellish that, because that's not really what Star Wars is about.
No, I mean, he's probably going to get into the mystery of the mitochondrions or whatever those things are.
Midi-chlorians.
That's what I said.
We've already had enough of that. I don't need any more.
No. In fact, that's what ruined the last three.
Yeah. I can really
you can touch on it, like in the first three, it was just enough. You had a little bit of Yoda and talking about... finding the Force, and then that way it's accessible to people. But when you start dissecting it and losing the movement of an adventure fun movie,
I just didn't like the whole midi-chlorian thing. I liked it when the Force was just kind of mysterious and certain people had it and certain people didn't. I didn't care about the other stuff. It's too much science. It's
not even science, it's mythology.
Well, right, but they tried to get all fancy schmancy with it.
Right. Okay, moving on.
I have another one.
Go ahead.
So you kind of touched on this a little bit, actually. Mm-hmm. And it's nothing against JJ.
Why not?
Well, unfortunately, it's going to be. But I think they should have gone, and this is, and I did some research, and a lot of people said the same thing, is that they should have gone with a new voice. Somebody who he's been around doing the exact same thing for a long time now,
and basically spreading his manure over all kinds of different things.
Well,
we need fresh blood, but yet people who still understand the mythos and the mythology of Star Wars and the adventure, the epic, good versus evil, small people triumphing, and
it's a space opera.
Yes, it's a space opera.
It's a space opera. It is not a Star Trek thing, which he has totally taken the whole.
Well, he ruined that too,
right? Which was a more of a thinking man's kind of thing. It's the morals and things like that as far as humankind goes.
Did you look at my notes?
No. I have it in mind. But the fact that he's taken that and turned it into an action showcase.
Yeah.
I like certain aspects of it, but at certain aspects I don't like. I actually liked the first Star Trek film, the very first one that ever came out, because it was very intellectual.
Oh,
and I was
one?
a kid.
Yeah.
So I mean, and now I can appreciate it a little bit more as an adult. But he's taken it and turned it into something completely different, which is what a lot of people are worried about with Star Wars, because Star Wars isn't an intellectual thing. It's a space opera, like I said.
It's an opera, right? It's a
just fun action,
good
adventure.
Versus bad, good guys, bad guys.
Exactly.
Empire.
Exactly. All right, I'm done with that one. What do you got?
I got too much lens flare, but then again, you knew I was going to bring that up now, didn't you?
It only took us, what, 5, almost 6 minutes to get into that.
Which reminds me, we should move along.
Oh.
Let's just say there's too much lens flare, and I'm sure he's going to bring that wonderful aspect of his directing to the Star Wars saga as well.
But see, he uses that as an action kind of thing, though.
It's an irritant.
Even when he tries to make that a scene that's dialogue, he'll still get that lens flare in there to make it seem... I don't even know why he does it, to be honest.
I do, because he thinks it's going to be his signature.
But it's not.
How about being a good director and dealing with a good story, you shithead?
Oh, boy.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Not that I have any problem with Jade.
No.
Okay.
The other thing I have is that he initially said that he wasn't going to do it.
I know. Then
Vehemently. What's that word?
Vehemently.
That guy. He said he absolutely would not do it. As a matter of fact, he said, he goes, I don't want to touch it. I just want to be a fan of it. There's no way I could really, I just can't get into it.
I guess money talks.
And then he does, right. So a total 180, and now he's doing both Star Wars and Star Trek, which is really the next.
Which is yet another reason why he shouldn't be doing epic Americana like Star Wars and Star Trek, because he's a freaking liar.
How is he a liar?
He said no, and then he said yes. He's a hypocrite.
I just don't like the fact that he's doing both. You can't do both.
No.
You can't.
It's like having George Lucas do all of Steven Spielberg's movies. Could you imagine Schindler's List helmed by George Lucas?
Don't even go there.
All right.
That's just something I just don't want to think about. I actually think, what else do I think that might be it. I think for me, it's also... The thing that I liked about Empire Strikes Back, which to me is the best of the first three, for Star Wars, the original was obviously pretty good too. But the second one was more. It was a different director. There was more emotional, character-driven kind of acts in that one. So I hope that they go back to that, because that's the winning theory for me. And that my problem with that is that J.J. Abrams is not that guy to make emotion come through in his characters. He's kind of like a Michael Bay. There is no character in this. I think you have to let that breathe a little bit, but don't go too far with it, because like I said earlier, it's a space opera, so I just don't think he's the right director to kind of walk that line, that fine line. They needed somebody else, in my opinion. I actually was a big fan of the Brad Bird.
Brad Bird?
Yeah. Director. He was rumored to be the director. I was a big fan of that one. Obviously, Sam has no idea about that one. But that's the one I wish they would. I wish they would have done. I wish they would have done that guy.
Yeah, anybody would have been better.
But we'll see. It's too. You know what? I don't want to. It could be good. It could be. He is an action guy. That's what he does. Maybe it'll work out. I don't know.
Here's the next topic.
I thought he was a worse pick for Star Trek than for Star Wars.
Oh yeah. But you know what? If he doesn't pull this off, he is going to hear a lot of crap from Star Wars fans, because Star Wars fanboys, they make Trekkies, look like wimps. I mean, they're serious.
George Lucas is still hearing it.
George Lucas is dead to them.
He really is. The guy who created it all is basically non-existent to them. You're still choking. You know what? On that note, I think we're done.
I think we're done too.
Hey, I want to do a little shout out real quick.
Shout out.
Who Productions? I got this in the mail today.
Who?
Who Productions.
Who?
They're on first base. They sent me some cool little keychains. They have a show. Who Productions does a thing. Well, you really are choking. Look at you. You're crying.
I'm crying because J.J. Abrams is going to direct the new Star Wars movie.
I can't tell if it's because of the food or if it's J.J. Abrams. Anyway, Who Productions, thanks for the keychains. There's a bunch of keychains. It's Nosferatu. It's a web series that they're doing with actually some pretty big stars in there.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, too.
And it's really funny, so you guys should check that out. But thanks to you guys for sending us out these cool keychains. We love those.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're done. J.J. Abrams, you think is a bad idea.
He's dead to me.
All right. For Sam Labrati, I'm Scott Tomaso. We'll see you on the next episode of 10 Reasons Why Show. We may still not have our third guest or our third host, but whatever. What are we going to do?
She's moonlighting.
What is she doing?
I don't know. I heard something about Vegas.
Oh boy.
Okay, goodbye.